Chapter 96 of Pistis Sophia, the second book. Jesus promises to explain further, all in detail. Of all these, then, will I speak unto you at the expansion of the universe. In a word, all those whom I have spoken of unto you, those who will arise, and those who will come, those who will emanate, and those who come forth, and those who are without over them, and those who are implanted in them, those who will contain the region of the first mystery, and those who are in the space of the ineffable. Of those will I speak unto you, because I will reveal them unto you, and I will speak of them unto you according to every region, and according to every order, and the expansion of the universe, and I will reveal unto you all their mysteries, which rule over all, and their pro-trice spirituals, and their super-trice spirituals, which rule over their mysteries and their orders. Now therefore the mystery of the ineffable knoweth wherefore all these have arisen, of whom I have spoken unto you in openness, and through which all these have arisen. It is the mystery which is in them all, and it is the outgoing of them all, and it is the upgoing of them all, and it is the setting up of them all. And the mystery of the ineffable is the mystery which is in all these, of whom I have spoken unto you, and of whom I will speak unto you at the expansion of the universe, and it is the mystery which is in them all, and it is the one and only mystery of the ineffable, and the gnosis of all these, of whom I have spoken unto you, and of whom I will speak unto you, and of whom I have not spoken. Of these will I speak unto you at the expansion of the universe, and of their total gnosis, of with another. Wherefore they have arisen. It is the one and only word of the ineffable, and I will tell you the expansion of all the mysteries, and the types of every one of them, and the manner of their completion in all their figures, and I will tell you the mystery of the one and only, the ineffable, in all its types, all its figures, and its whole economy. Wherefore it hath come forth from the last limb of the ineffable. From that mystery is the setting up of all them, and that mystery of the ineffable is moreover also a one and only word, which existed in the speech of the ineffable, and it is the economy of the solution of all the words which I have spoken unto you. And he who receiveth the one and only word of the mystery which I shall now say unto you, and it all its types and all its figures, all the manner of the accomplishing its mysteries, for ye are perfect and all perfect, and ye will accomplish the whole gnosis of that mystery which is the whole economy. For unto you all mysteries are entrusted. Hearken therefore now, that I may tell you the mystery which is ... He then who shall receive the one and only word of that mystery which I have told you, if he cometh forth out of the body of the matters of the rulers, and if the retributive receivers come and free him from the body of the matter of the rulers, that is, those receivers who free from the body all outgoing souls, when therefore the retributive receivers free the soul which hath received this one and only mystery of the ineffable, which I have just told you, then will it straightway, if it be set free from the body of matter, become a great light stream in the midst of those receivers, and the receivers will be exceedingly afraid of the light of that soul, and the receivers will be made powerless, and fall down and detest altogether, for fear of the great light which they have seen, And the soul which receiveth the mystery of the ineffable will soar into the height, being a great light stream, and receivers will not be able to seize it, and will not know how the way is fashioned upon which it will go. For it becometh a great light stream, and soareth into the height, and no power is able to hold it down at all, nor will they be able to come nigh it at all. But it will pass through all the regions of the rulers, and all the regions of the emanations of the light, and it will not give answer in any region, nor giveth any apologies, nor giveth any tokens, neither will any power of the rulers, nor any power of the emanations of the light be able to come nigh that soul, but all the regions of the rulers, and all the regions of the emanations of the light, every one shineth unto it, praises in their regions, in fear of the light of the stream which enveloped that soul, until it passes through them all, and goeth to the region of the inheritance of the mystery which it hath received. That is, to the mystery of the one and only, the ineffable, and go into until it becometh one with the limbs. Amen, I say unto you, it will be in all the regions in the time a man shooteth an arrow. Now therefore, amen, I say unto you, every man who will receive that mystery of the ineffable, and accomplish it in all its types, all its figures, he is a man in the world, but towereth above all angels, and will tower still more above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above all archangels, and will tower still more above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above all tyrants, and will raise himself above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above all lords, and will raise himself above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above all gods, and will raise himself above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above all light givers, and will raise himself above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above all pure ones, and will raise himself above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above all triple powers, and will raise himself above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above all forefathers, and will raise himself above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above all invisibles, and will raise himself above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above great invisible forefathers, and will raise himself above him. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above all those of the midst, and will raise himself above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above the emanations of the treasury of light, and will raise himself above them all. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above the mixture, and will raise himself entirely above it. He is a man in the world, but he towereth above the whole region of the treasury, and will raise himself entirely above it. He is a man in the world, but he ruleth with me in the kingdom. He is a man in the world, but he is king in the light. He is a man in the world, but is not one of the world. And amen, I say unto you, that man is I, and I am that man. And at the dissolution of the world, that is, when the universe will be raised up, and when the numbering of the perfect souls will be raised up altogether, and when I am king in the midst of the last helper, being king over all the emanations of the light, and king over the 7 amens, and the 5 trees, and the 3 amens, and the 9 guards, and being king over the child of child, that is the twin saviors, and being king over the 12 saviors, and over the whole numbering of the perfect souls who shall receive the mystery of in the light, then will all men who shall receive the mysteries that in the ineffable be fellow kings with me, and will sit on my right and on my left in my kingdom. And amen, I say unto you, those men are I, and I am they. On this account have I said unto you aforetime, ye will sit on your thrones on my right and on my left in the kingdom, and will rule with me. On this account, therefore, I have not hesitated, nor have I been ashamed to call you my brethren and my companions, because ye will be fellow kings with me in my kingdom. This therefore I say unto you, knowing that I will give you the mystery of the ineffable, that is the mystery, that mystery is I, and I am that mystery.